Let's take a ride down I-17 southbound out of Flagstaff down to Camper. I don't know what the weight in my trailer is, but it's not near as much as it could be. Let's turn this off, punch you down, and start the engine brake to work. Going down the hill, we're doing about 73. I got the cruise set at 71, so the engine brake's holding it back. An automatic mode, so it'll downshift on its own if it needs more power. No, I have not touched the brake button. Shouldn't need to really, unless somebody cuts me off. Like I said, it's a light load. Have me talking or just listen to the noises of the truck going down the hill or up the hill or whatever. It's something for you to put in the comments. This sign here is one of those signs that most is why we need the laws to say you have to speak English and drive. That was a suggestion sign that says, letting me know that yes, we're increasing uphill, but we got more downhill coming. .5% isn't much, it's the length of the 5% that's the problem. Guys with heavy loads and weak engine brakes can get their brakes pretty hot going down this hill. I've had a couple trucks that had weak engine brakes over the years, including the last one I drove. I'd go down this hill, I wouldn't trust the high side of the transmission. I was usually running the low side, about 25 mile an hour. Going uphill, I could pull the hill in about 6th, which is the first gear on the top side. The rule of thumb is always go down the hill 1 gear lower than you can go up the hill in. The way I was taught back in the early 90s when I started driving, that's what the rule, what it's always been. And like I say, it's not the steepness of this mountain that gets you, it's the length of it. It's 15 miles long, top to bottom. Going up it, you'll overheat. So you're basically going from the desert all the way up to the mountain, Flagstaff. Major elevation change. Flagstaff's about 7,000 feet. Not sure what Camp Verde is. That's basically the bottom of the mountain here, and you start back up the other side, and then you go level up downish stuff, and then you drop down into the valley. whichever setting on the engine brake works the best. The gear cruise right now set at 72. My RPMs are running about 1750. I'm at 11th gear. Doing about 73 actual. Okay, 74. Four-wheeler did something that wasn't supposed to. Well, there's a kind of interesting four-wheeler had a tow dolly behind it, but I don't see another vehicle, so don't know what that was all about. The other vehicle away already. Those tow dollies are actually dangerous things. I'm pretty much against using them. I was towing my Mercury with it behind a U-Haul, and it ended up tearing the belts. Actually, it was behind the Excursion, and it tore the belts. So we ended up getting rid of the tow dolly and getting a trailer to tow my Mercury. May have been the fact that I was trying to tow it backwards, because the way the driveline is set up on the Cougars, can't really drop your driveline because the fuel tank is there. You can't get the driveline enough out of the way that you can run without a connector. So I backed it onto the dolly, and so the steer tires were on the ground. And for whatever reason, in the rain or whatever, the straps snapped on the tow dolly. Luckily, the car didn't fall off, which I was shocked. But I knew that I couldn't tow it that way, so we ended up spending the extra $50 a day and got a auto transport, flatbed trailer. Not bed. Auto trailer for all four wheels to be on it. That was when we moved back from Missouri. Basically at the bottom. Well, this is not really actually the bottom. It's just it levels out pretty good here. We go to the rest area, which can also be a weigh station. That's why the signs say what they do. There's actually a weigh in motion. And a bunch of sensors. That's a Sedona exit, and here's the Sedona on-ramp. At least the Dodge got itself moving. Extra signs like the scale's open. That's the medium, the DOT bear. Alright, picking and choosing, he's going to pull over. Probably looking for a truck with hot brakes. Maybe somebody speeding. Still sitting there. So he didn't come after me. That's a major portion of the mountain. There's a little bit more up here that drops us the rest way to Camp Verde. portable or the electronic signs for when they make the scale house actually open at the rest area. Trying to be good and not get too excited. Need to call the office here shortly and talk to them about the fact some electronic issues we're having. If I post this, let me know if you liked it. You can subscribe it. As I get more subscribers, maybe I'll post some more stuff. I'm also over on TikTok. I may start running some stuff on TikTok. I did a live beginning of the week, or end of last week I should say. I did a live. It seemed to have a few responses, not too many. I tried doing another live, and for whatever reason, it kicked me off. I read up on what it said, and the only thing I could think of is it didn't like Google giving me directions. I thought it was a dare or something. I don't know. And so you know, I'm not touching the phone. It's mounted on a mount. The only thing I do is I push one button to turn it on and off. Safety first. No hands. Everything has to be hands-free. I see some of the YouTubers that are handling their phones. They have them, I don't know how they exactly do it, or they're recording devices, whether it's a GoPro or whatever, while they're driving and looking around and stuff. And well, that's totally illegal in a commercial vehicle. You got a handheld device, you're wrong. If it's in your hand at all, it's wrong. It's considered distracted driving and will be ticketed as such. And that's not something I want to mess with. I was listening to a radio show not so long ago, and a gentleman called in. He was the owner of a business and a driver for his own business. When he was in his automobile, his car, actually I think it was a light pickup, but anyway, he got pulled over for distracted driving. It turned out his insurance company dropped him for his company and basically told him because of his ticket, they couldn't insure him because he got the distracted driving ticket. He said, but it was in my car. He said, it doesn't matter. The insurance company said it doesn't matter, you're not insurable. So he ended up having to give up driving for his own business to be able to get insurance on his trucks. So no, that's not something I'm going to deal with. No distracted driving, no handheld cell phones, no handheld devices at all. They go on a mount, they go on the dash. If I need to see them, it's right there, it's visible. I try not reading them unless, you know, they have a little pop-up. I'll glance at it and see what it says, but I don't want to be distracted. That's just going to cause an accident and crash. There's signs everywhere about it. People do not seem to get it. Don't risk it, people. Do not play with your phone while you're driving. That could be evidence if they're in an accident used against them. Because it clearly shows them using a device while they're driving. So any lawyer will, you know, for your average person, I guess a lawyer probably wouldn't go after you because you don't have anything worth going after. But they'll go after your insurance company, which will make you uninsurable. They'll go after the company you work for. device is not in your hands. I have a couple that I use that work pretty good. I got a piece of metal glued to the back of my cell phone case. It's got a magnetic mount on it. Suctions it or glues it to the dash, and then I throw it on the magnet, the phone on it, out of my hands, not a problem. By the way, we're almost to the bottom. You see that big mountain over there? Yeah. It says in the Alabama, see that mountain over there? Yep. One of these days I'm gonna climb that mountain. Well, I'm gonna climb that mountain here today. Trying to see if you can see the road up, but then because of the, you know, even though it's springish summer starts in 2 days. It's actually summer. We're finally in the triple digits here in Arizona. And there's the road. You can kind of see it going up the side of the mountain. I don't know, the phone from the camera can't see it. It doesn't have that good detail in that far of a distance. But you have to go back up that mountain right there. Shouldn't be too hard of a climb. The biggest problem with climbing is the traffic, especially with this truck or this kind of load, this light load. If I had a heavy load, it would be I'd be the guy blocking the road. I couldn't get out of the right lane to save my life because I couldn't pull. Today, I'll probably be getting in the way some because I want to get around the slower trucks. Like I say, I'm super light, so going up the mountain shouldn't be a big issue. Officially the bottom of the mountain. We're in Camp Verde. There's the river right there. Across this river, that'll be the lowest point, and we start climbing again. There'll be the river. I don't even know what river it is. I have to go back and look at the sign, maybe tell me. Let's go up the other side. Day of the week you leave Phoenix, I'm out for basically 5 to 6 or 6 days at a time. Left out on Friday, which is a terrible day to leave Phoenix. Traffic's bad. But if I left on Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday, I'd be coming back on Sunday, and traffic coming back down the mountain. It's terrible. The Phoenicians, the people who live in Phoenix, escape to the mountains every weekend, and they just cause a major traffic jam. I'd like to do that too, but I'm working too hard. I need extra money so I can go take my kid camping. Buy me a car so I can take my kid camping. faster truck. The Volvo motor and the Detroit are a little bit better than this pack car motor I got. Why both those trucks were able to just fly on by me. Even empty the stick plugs. About 50 mile an hour going uphill. Like I say, it should be about, I don't know, I didn't look at the weight on the load, but it should, I don't think it's much more than 4,000 or 5,000 pounds in the box, which will be under 40,000 gross. That's it, we're at the top of the mountain. If you watch it all the way through, like my post, make a comment, say whether you liked what I did, whether it's talking or just letting the music of the motor play. Have a wonderful day.